Jake here for American Muscle, and today I'm taking a look at the Mishimoto baffled oil catch can fitting 2015 to 2023 EcoBoost Mustangs. Oil catch cans, otherwise known as oil separators, are some of the best and easiest ways to keep your car running smooth and clean for the long haul. And if you're planning on keeping your Mustang around for a while, and especially if you're planning on adding some more modifications, one of these should be on your list. Mishimoto's baffled catch can offers some really nice benefits and excellent build quality in a complete kit that's going to keep your EcoBoost running clean and smooth for a long time to come. The advent of direct injection has been a total boon for efficiency and power, but as with most things in life, there's always a bit of a price to pay. In the case of a direct injected engine like the EcoBoost in the Mustang, all those benefits can come at the expense of longevity. Since fuel isn't passing over the intake valves, they can get carbon buildup from vapors recirculated through your crankcase ventilation system. Now that can cause the valves and the intake itself to get gummed up and make your car not run as well. Thankfully, Mishimoto has a pretty crafty solution to avoid this exact problem on the Mustang's EcoBoost engine. Now this kit is designed to capture the oil vapors from the positive crankcase ventilation or PCV system. So all that blow by that would normally just get funneled right back through the inlet on the turbo and through the intake and the valves is instead going to get captured right here. Now this can itself has a 3-ounce capacity, and that should be more than enough to last you between oil changes. On the bottom of the can too, you've got a hex head bolt, so if you want to just unscrew that and drain the oil out that way, you can do that too. But once you've got that can off, you can see the inner workings, and that's where this differs from most of the other offerings. Most important here is this bronze filter. Now this is the key to the whole thing. It's a 50 micron filter, so it's really gonna filter out a lot of gunk that's gonna come through the PCV system and trap it down here in that canister. You've also got an internal air diverter here on the inlet side and one on the outlet side as well. So this is gonna create some more turbulence, and that's gonna help improve oil separation. And for reference, that 50 micron filter, a human hair is about 1 micron thick, so this is gonna filter out a heck of a lot of stuff. You also get all new lines included here, and these are gonna feature the quick disconnect fittings, and these are also application specific, so they're gonna fit on your Mustang perfectly. No need to make any other modifications under the hood. Everything is really well integrated here, and the black finish over all of it makes for a stealthy installation too, and it looks pretty much factory under the hood once you've got it in there. Construction is also first rate here. In addition to that bronze filter inside, the can itself is made from T6061 aluminum, and it's anodized black for additional protection. You've also got these two inlets here, again for these quick connect fittings. Just click right on, and these are also made from aluminum, and you've got some really thick seals around the edges too to make sure that you're not going to get a ton of spillage. The kit also comes with all the hardware you need and this thick steel bracket that's going to keep everything mounted up securely. Now the bracket is also powder coated black again to keep it protected and looking good for a long time to come as well. So everything here is really nice quality. It feels nice in your hand, and it's going to look good under the hood as well. Pricing wise, this one is going to come in right at about $250, and that does put it on the more expensive side of the category. But again, you're getting really high quality materials like that bronze filter, and there's some really good science and technology built in here. Plus, that $250 is still going to be less than even one valve cleaning service at your local shop. So for the ability to go further without doing all that service, or maybe not have to think about it at all, I think this is definitely worth the cost of entry. Installation is going to get a 1 out of 3 and should only take you about 30 minutes to complete. It's a really straightforward job. Everything you need is included in the kit, so it's certainly something you can accomplish at home. Just a bit of fitting to be done. And to show you exactly what you've got to do, let's head on out to the install bay right now.
The tools you'll need for this project are a ratchet, a 7mm and a 10mm socket, a 10mm wrench, a 17mm wrench, a long flat blade screwdriver, and a 2.5mm Allen wrench. Hi everyone, today we're installing an oil separator on our Mustang, so let's get started with the uninstall part first. Now before we get started with the install part of this, or even the uninstall, I want to let you know you're going to need access to either a lift or a floor jack and some jack stands. Now once you've got the vehicle properly supported, you can go ahead and remove your engine cover using 2 8mm and 2 10mm bolts that are attaching it. Now ours is already off, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we can go ahead and start to remove the PCV lines. Now before you get started, you do want to make sure that you are working on a cold engine here, because you are going to have to be reaching in there around the engine, so you don't want to burn yourself. Now the first connector that we're going to disconnect is right here behind the throttle body. And what you're going to do is use a long flathead screwdriver to push down on this white tab here. And that will release the two clips at the bottom. And then you can reach underneath and push that connector off. So push down on that connector and then push the connector towards the engine, and that will disconnect that end of the hose. Now you either need to raise your vehicle up or crawl underneath it to get the bottom line off. The other end of our PCV line is down here below the intake manifold, pretty much in line with your motor mount here. And it's got the same type of connector that it has up on the top. So it's got a white connector. You're going to press that down and you should be able to see the clips open up here. So once you've got that pressed down, you can go ahead and pull that connector out and then go ahead and remove your line. Before we can actually install our oil separator on the vehicle, there's a couple things we need to take care of first. One, we need to attach the mounting bracket to the catch can, and the other is to install these two fittings on the catch can so that we can attach our hoses. So let's go ahead and take care of the mounting bracket first. You're going to need a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench to take out the 3 screws at the top of your catch can. We'll just go ahead and take those out. We'll set our mounting bracket on top here. Now you want to make sure that the mounting tab for the bracket does not cover up your inlet holes for your fittings. So once you've got that in place, go ahead and reinstall the 3 screws. Now we can go ahead and install our fittings. Now it doesn't matter which one is which, they're interchangeable. So just go ahead and install them. Then you can use your 17 millimeter wrench to snug them down. Now you don't want to over tighten these, you just want to make sure that they are snug. Now we can go ahead and get started with our install. Now we can go ahead and install our catch can on this mounting tab here on the strut tower using the supplied 10 millimeter bolt and nut. Once you've got it started, you can go ahead and use a 10 millimeter socket and a wrench to hold it from the bottom. And snug that up. Now we can go ahead and attach our hoses. Now we've got 2 different hoses here, one for the inlet, one for the outlet. The shorter of the 2 hoses is going to be the one that connects to the fitting right underneath the intake manifold here. The longer hose is going to connect down to the engine block where the original port was at as well. We're going to route the one with the fitting underneath the intake manifold and connect it to the fitting there, and this is going to attach to our outlet here on our catch can. So let's go ahead and run this through. We'll run this underneath our throttle body here. and up to our fitting. And just push it on until it snaps, and then give it a little tug just to make sure that it is secure. Now we can go ahead and attach our lower hose. Now we're going to go ahead and feed the end of our hose without the fitting on it up between the intake manifold and the fender well, up near where the catch can is located. And then we can go ahead and attach the fitting on the hose to the fitting on the engine block. Doing the same thing that we did on the upper hose. Just going to push it in until it snaps. Then give it a little tug to make sure it is secure on there. And now we can go ahead and attach the hose to the catch can. Now we can use the supplied hose clamps, slide it on one of the hoses. Now this is the one coming from the engine block itself down below. That's going to hook up to our inlet port here, which is marked on the catch can. So we'll just slide that hose on, tighten the clamp down with a 7mm socket, and then do the same thing for the one that comes off the intake. That's going to go to your outlet. And again, we'll tighten that one down with our 7mm socket. And now you can go ahead and reinstall your engine cover, and your installation is complete. And that wraps up our review and install of the Mishimoto baffled oil catch can for 15 and newer Mustang EcoBoost. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.